Guitars are supposed to look cool, but these are design crimes.
And ain't nobody getting a pass.
That's right. So in the world of guitar playing, and I think musicians are at the core of our playing, we always kind of want to look cool. Deep down, you don't want to look not cool.
Everyone's like, oh, you know,
Playability.
This form factor.
Yeah.
This is like
Playability
it's gotta
matters the
look
most.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everything's have to look cool, even if it only looks cool to you. You have to like what you.
Well, that's the point. It's supposed to look cool to you, not everyone else. However, there have been some guitars in guitar history that are just plain fugly. Guitar number 1 is the Gibson Corvus. Now, the Gibson Corvus came out in the early 1980s. Corvus is Latin for crow. I did not know that.
Really?
Yeah. Often nicknamed appropriately the can opener.
What's Latin for can opener?
Crow? No.
Why is it called the crow? Do we know?
No, I do not know. My research could not find why they named it that. Why did it fail? Because historically, these sold, you couldn't give these things away.
What's Latin for turd?
The Corvus is honestly, if you Google ugly electric guitar, the Corvus is like one of the first guitars to come up.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, it is very ugly.
It is very ugly. Now, in the early 80s, a lot of execs and a lot of the public were on massive amounts of cocaine.
Sure.
And all sorts of drugs, presumably. I don't know what they were thinking with this. I think perhaps it was some sort of attempt to just see what stuck, because they had a lot of guitars at the time in the early 80s. You know, the Victory series, et cetera, the RD in the late 70s. They were just trying to see what the public bought.
Let's see it. Is there some sort of ergonomic quality to it that people are like, well, you know, like some RISD student came in and they were like, what you need is some guitar that fits the body well and blah, blah, blah. You know what's cooler than that? A Steinberger is 100 times cooler because it doesn't have all this bull crap on it.
Yep. I agree.
Also, shame on you, Gibson, for having a 6 on a side headstock on anything other than an Explorer.
That's right. Real quick, I wanted to pause the video and point out that over 50% of the viewers on this or any other video on my channel are unsubscribed. And the best way to support what I'm doing here is to simply click that subscribe button, leaving a comment, or thumbs upping the video if you've liked what you've seen. So please consider subscribing to further support what I'm doing here on the channel. Back to the video. Guitar number 2 blessed us in the year of 1985, and that would be the Fender Katana.
Right.
The Katana, for me, always reminded me of something like Devo would play, right? It reminds me like a Vox Teardrop, but like a shredder version of that.
It's just a weird looking thing. It just like, I understand what they wanted to do.
So at the time, in context of 1985, the very popular brands that were coming up were BC Rich, Charvel, Jackson, and they were trying to take their own spin on it.
The King V came out about that time.
Sure.
Rhodes V had already happened.
That's right.
I think the King V is the ultimate expression of the Flying V. I like it better than the Gibson Flying V.
I'm not a V guy in general. The King V is pretty cool.
Oh.
Pretty cool. I don't hate that at all. It was discontinued after 1 year. They literally could not give them away.
I hope it didn't make it 1 year. Sorry, Fender. As a brand, you know, through the timeline, it's great, but everyone messes up sometimes.
That's right. Guitar number 2, Fender Katana. Guitar number 3 brings us all the way back to early to mid 1970s. The Ovation Deacon. This was one of your picks. And this is the breadwinner guitar shape, but this was a fancier version. Fancier trim package of...
I actually kind of like it.
I don't even kind of like it. I hate it.
I mean, it is very hateable.
It's that top half of the body. I hate this guitar.
Do you know what it looks like? You know Chet from Weird Science?
Yeah.
It's like his face. Like that guitar is like if his face became a guitar.
Now, Ovation was part of a larger push to kind of go electric, because obviously Ovation was primarily an acoustic guitar company, and most people just wanted them to stay acoustic.
And props to them, they are not known for doing anything conventional.
No, and this was meant to be an ergonomic design, because apparently when you sit it on your lap, it is very comfortable to play. So I'm told. I've never played one.
I don't buy guitars to play sitting down.
Right? You don't, as Dimebag would say, you don't go to war sitting down, son. Right? Like that's just not what you do. This was loved at the time by some people and some players, and it did last a couple of years. It wasn't instantly canceled. The 1970s were pretty weird though. I could see a bunch of hippies playing Ovation Deacons.
Cancel it.
Yeah, it was briefly used by Glenn Campbell as well.
Stud guitar player.
Stud guitar player. Yeah, that was guitar number 3, the Ovation Deacon. Guitar number 4, we have had on the channel, the Wild Audio Berserker.
Now, we talked about not putting this on here because neither one of us want to get put in a chokehold.
No. Now, before we go any further with the Wild Berserker, like I said in the video that I made with this guitar, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Zach and company to just do what they feel is cool to them. And I greatly respect that.
Look, there are things about the Barbarian that I like more than an SG.
Sure.
And all of his guitars I love. There's something about, what is the other sort of offset, like, you know, it's like Thor's hammer, or so, you know, it's like, it's like an offset one. I like that one. This one is a bridge too far.
Here's the thing with all of the Wild Audio stuff though, no matter how they look, universally, all of them play like a $3,000 guitar. I can't even describe how weird it is to have a visual expectation and then you play it and you're like, oh, this is extremely comfortable and well playing. It comes out of the box set up perfectly. They sound so good. Also, because there's so much wood, it's very, very resonant.
Also, I had Zach on my podcast.
Yeah.
And he was about to release that guitar and he was like, the next guitar we're putting out, brother, it's the ugliest thing that you've ever seen in your life. He said it himself.
There's a self-awareness that I love and respect about Zach. I am a huge Zach fan. I'm a Wild Audio fan forever. The Berserker is not for me.
Same.
Sorry,
very Zach.
Sorry.
Love you, pal.
Yeah. And last but not least, guitar number 5, ugly, the Gibson Modern. You knew this was going to be on the list. It's on every ugly guitar list that I have ever seen. Thought to be basically a prototype in the late 50s as part of the Modern series, right? Which included the Explorer and the Flying V from Gibson. It's not necessarily known for sure that any were actually made in 1957. The original plans were drawn up in 1957, but these really physically weren't available until the early 80s for some reason. This is amongst, for me personally, one of the ugliest guitars I have ever seen in my entire life. Everything about this is wrong. It's wrong.
It looks like one of SpongeBob's friends. It's like, I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
I hate it so much. I would rather punch a baby than play one of these things. I cannot stand this guitar. It's horrible. And there are people that feel very, very passionately about these guitars.
Right. And 2 of them are you and I. We passionately hate them.
It makes me feel a kind of way that I hate that guitar.
Look at it. Look at it. Go back to it. I don't understand how someone could draw these lines up and go, yeah, baby.
This looks sick. But at the same
That's
time,
the one.
when this was drawn up, people also thought the same thing about the Explorer and the Flying V. Like, they were so outrageous.
Right. Look at Popular Mechanics and all that. The magazines, they would have cars of the future.
Context of the time,
and they
right?
look like Tesla trucks.
Right. Sci-fi
Right.
movies and comics and all that stuff. But yeah.
Laser guns.
Oh, absolutely horrible. Gibson Modern, I hate you.
You guys made the list twice.
And that does it for the 5 ugliest guitars of all time. Do you have a guitar that you think of when you think ugly guitars? Leave a comment down below. Maybe we'll do another episode. Maybe, are there more ugly guitars out there?
No, all other guitars are beautiful.
All other guitars are great.
I see beauty in all guitars, though.
Except those 5.
I even see, like, the strings are cool.
Nope.
Tuners?
Hate them. Nope, hate them all.
The nut
Burn them.
inlays.
The pickups are cool.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. All right, everyone. We're going to get out of here. See you next time.